Hey, yo. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on, fellas? The first piece of content since first live stream since Thursday? Wednesday? I think I left on Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday. What's going on? Got the whole camera finally working. Man. Had one of my friends who is an expert at this stuff. I would say expert for sure. I was going to say compared to me, but definitely expert. Every single thing I threw at him, he knows. What's going on? We got comments on the screen. Let me see if I can make these bigger so we're not all taking our bifocals out right now. I think I can make them bigger in Streamlabs. I'll do that. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? We're back. We're feeling better. Look at that tan. Yeah, this is the thing. This is just straight out. I mean, we have like just like normal filter on. We got the lens on the camera, but this is the legit tan. I'm not putting any saturation on or any effects like that. This is a live stream, so it's not like it's a pre-recorded video where I'm putting some post color correction on. We got the full tan going on. It was like 96 degrees. Even putting 30 proof whatever it is, SPF. I don't even know if that's the exact way that they call it these days. Whatever it is from to protect you from them shiny light bulbs out there in the sky right next to the big pool that you sit at. If you're not getting what I'm talking about, it's the fucking ocean, guy, the beach. Yeah. So that did not protect me. I was nonstop. So this is actually tan. Every other part of my body is burnt, right, from the beach. Nonstop, just spraying my shoulders, right, every single my back. Didn't matter. Literally didn't matter. Brutal. Let me make this font bigger so we can actually look at some of this stuff on the screen right now. But yeah, I want to get the chat back up on the screen. I think that would be very nice. So let's see if we can get the font bigger. Let's put the font up to 26-point font. Yeah, we're going to have the chats come on the screen for the first time in a while. Now that I got this new laptop, we can put a lot more features on and see how much we can actually put in to the stream, the new camera, the new everything, and actually see before we break this fucking thing. Let's see what we can do here. All right, cool. Yeah, so ask me your questions. 8-game slate. Happy to answer any questions from the weekend. This past weekend. There we go. We got some stuff popping up on the screen now. Scat mob coming through. It's going one at a time, so I'm not sure I like that, but we'll try and fix that as much as we can. The cam is fire, my guy. Can't tell if it's more HD or you really got that tan. No, yeah, we really got a tan, but we're going to have to keep it to make the effects stay. Yeah, I mean, I posted on Twitter yesterday, I think it was, that I might just be able to write off this whole business trip, aka just trip with my cousin before I moved to Texas to Florida for just general appeal for my on-camera. Like, I'm allowed to, like, write off T-shirts and everything, anything like that. Anything that looks like, I basically am only buying these T-shirts because there's color to them. So they're a business expense to be on camera. I wouldn't be buying, like, I don't wear these normally just out. Like, I have like 10 shirts in my closet that I only wear for streams. Are we in 4K? Stream is crispy. I'm not even shooting in 4K. This is still 1080. I wanted to put it, this is the first time I'm using this camera. I wanted to put it 1080 to start and then maybe work our way up to 4K tomorrow or over really a pre-recorded video probably. Probably a pre-recorded video is what I would work my way up to. But yeah. This is only 1080p. It can only get better with the 4K, I'm going to be honest with you. Hope it was a blast. It was a ton of fun. Simon, man, I won't be here long. Just wanted to pop in and say hi. Tragic weekend here at high school friend was just murdered in his own home. They haven't found the suspect. Your videos cheer me up, says Devin. Damn, man. Well, I apologize. I'm going to make the videos the last couple of days. But, yeah. Man. Thoughts and prayers, man. Thoughts and prayers. Sabonis and Brissett too much today. Yeah, I don't know if I want both of them. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I'm going to want both of them. Look at this motherfucking camera, says David. Yeah, man. I hope you like it. I hope a lot of people like it. Yeah, we re-upped everything. In the last 2 months or so, we got the new mic, the new camera. There's a lot of shit behind the scenes that you can't see, like the laptop to support all this. New lighting setup, new background. We're going hard for 2021, especially the NFL season. Like, there's a reason I'm doing this all during the NBA season, right? Next year, when a lot of more people who see my content during NFL are like, I'm going to tune back into this Sal guy, see what he's got. And they're going to say, oh, this ain't that MacBook webcam anymore. That's the goal, at least. The Tan Italian, what's going on? Yeah, I see a lot of people said what's up earlier on. I can only see those on the YouTube comments. I'm using a third-party chat thing, so I can actually see some stuff. But yeah, looks great. What's up, Sal? What's going on, Corey? How you doing? I see you big time. What's up? Discord fellas, we were loving the Gorgie Dang play last night. I'll have to find another one for tonight. Hey, we love that. David. What's up, boss man? Sabonis, Wagner, or Davis, Frank Jackson? Give me between those two, Sabonis and Wagner. I'm still hesitant on Davis. Even without LeBron, just the minutes we're not seeing like 36. He's honestly just playing terrible right now, Davis. I think he's trying to ramp himself back up, but I'm not going to play psychologist. Hit the like button. Sal, welcome back. Maybe you should stay on vacation. I took down $50,000, $15, 20, only throwing in one entry, says Eric. Hey, my man, Eric. Hey, I'll go on. Hey, here's the thing. You can if you can take that down, you can dish it out a little bit to the community, right? And I'll go on vacation. We'll be good to go. Yeah, I'll go on vacation more if you just be. If it's as simple as me to take a vacation for you to win 5K, I think we can have some sort of business venture here between the two of us. The new cam is fired. Thanks, my man. Fellas, good afternoon. Look at that tan. Fellas. This, your boy Chase. Chase, what's going on? He says, introducing my guy, Sal Vetri. What's going on, guys? How you doing? Happy to have you. Big pumped to be here. So let's get into some of this stuff that we got going on right now. Let's pull this up. So we'll get into prize picks momentarily. The sponsor of the L program today is actually Cuts Clothing, which they've been sponsored once before. We got a couple of things lined up with Cuts Clothing. Let me get this. So I'm not wearing it right now because it's hot. I got a couple things, couple t-shirts. This is the hoodie, the Cuts Clothing hoodie. It's just the all black one, but it's their own type of material. So I'm not trying to read. I'm not reading off of no fucking straight ad read or anything. But check out Cuts Clothing. Basically, it's linked up down below in the description. If it's not, the link's on the screen. You get 15% off your first order with that link, Sal Vetri link, the / Sal Vetri. It's just their own type of clothing. And the nicest part was I had t-shirts, different colors that I brought to Fort Lauderdale this weekend. You can wear it if you want to just go to the beach. Like this same exact shirt, it works for everything. You want to go out to a brunch, you want to go out at night and like get some drinks. You want to go to the beach, you want to just walk around outside, you want to go to the gym. Like literally the same t-shirt, the fabric. I don't know how they did it. It's kind of like a mix between. It's like a very light Under Armour, but also just really comfortable. It's a weird mix between. It's their own patent material. So I always have trouble when I wash shirts. They shrink to shit. It's like the biggest issue that I deal with right now. It's terrible. And also ironing shirts. You just got a steamer. Even that takes time. Both of those things don't affect it somehow. So yeah, check out Cuts Clothing. A lot of these like random things reach out to me for sponsors. And I'm like, yeah, what the hell are people going to do with this thing, right? But I see this, I'm like, oh, I literally could use that. And I think most of my viewers are me, 99.9% are male, right? So check it out. If you have any questions on cuts, let me know. Hit that like. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into all these big old plays. What's your prize picks from this morning? What was your prize picks from this morning? I didn't place any this morning because I was traveling, but the best prize picks today looks like RJ Barrett. I have him at like 36 points. He's playing like fucking massive minutes, just towards the 40s consistently. They kind of come in waves if they've been doing that in New York, and they're back to doing it with RJ Barrett. Alec Burks being injured helps a little bit with that. But yeah, RJ Barrett over 30. I've got 5 different prize picks placed right now. I believe they're all overs. A lot of the prize picks are kind of right on the line today, but there's 5 that I think are pretty decent. RJ Barrett's my favorite one right now. Somebody says a little much, Sal. I don't know what you mean, Camo Man. Any THT love with LeBron and Schroeder out? Welcome back. Yeah, what's going on, John? What's going on, Charlie? Any THT love with LeBron and Schroeder out? No, not for me right now. I gave him more minutes, yes, but not enough to get there because, I mean, look, here's the thing with THT. Like, unless you think he plays point guard, like the guys who are going to get the run now that he's probable Caruso today, right? There's still Wesley Matthews on this team. So they have enough guards and point guard minutes to go around. So, yeah, it's not going to be THT. For 20 minutes of play, like AD, THT plays power forward, small forward ideally. And that's going to be taken up by the guys who are still out there, like Kuzma and like AD and like Markieff Morris and like even Ben McLemore will take up some shooting guard minutes. What's up, my man? What's going on? So, yeah. Somebody says, you look like Rudolph. Yeah, I do think that I got a little bit of burnt on the nose, or we got to just keep putting moisturizer on it. Brissett seems like a good play. No, 35-plus minutes regardless of a close game or blowout. Wizards, high-paced game, good gamble. I think I gave him 33 minutes today, but he could definitely play. Yeah, I gave him 33 minutes. He could definitely play 35. Like, there's nothing saying that he can't. But Brissett, for me, 33 minutes of play today. He is in a player pool. Yeah, he's a fine option. I don't think he's a standout play, but he's a fine option. If you give him 35, he'll look like a good option, right? I have Brissett right now projection-wise. Let me pull this up. The projections are updated right now for all the current news. 33.65 points for Brissett. If I give him 35 minutes, that'll go up towards 36 fantasy points today, which looks obviously a good amount better. Obviously, a little good amount better. Whole lot of stories from the Fort Lauderdales this weekend. A lot of jumping up and down and dancing, a lot of omelets brunches. Very nice. Number one play for tonight. Yeah, the number one play right now, point per dollar wise. I believe it's not even close. It's Caruso. Yeah, it's not even close. I have Caruso at $3,000 flat today. Alex Caruso right now. The top 2 point guard options right now, LeBron James and Dennis Schroeder, are out for the Lakers. Their only other guard options are like Ben McLemore, who's not even really traditional shooting guard, and Wesley Matthews, who's basically just a classic, right? An old school shooting guard, stay outside the 3-point line. So you're going to get a lot of Alex Caruso guard minutes. I gave Caruso tonight, and he could see more than this, no doubt about it, 28 minutes, because if I give him 30 or 32, which he can definitely play if he starts, it's just, I mean, he'll start to be projecting out for 30 fantasy points. So I have Caruso right now for 24.2 fantasy point projection at $3,000. That's clearly amazing. It's not also any surprise to anybody else, but that is the top point per dollar play tonight. But I would expect Alex Caruso to be by far the number one play. If Alex Caruso starts at center on this 8-game slate, get it right here. You heard it here first. You definitely didn't probably hear it here first because I didn't put a morning video out today. But Alex Caruso would be my numero uno play on the day today if he was indeed going to be starting today. So he'll be a lock. A lock. That means 100%. Joseph Rogers says hi. What's going on, Joseph Roberts? See you on the screen right now. Yeah, so he would be a lock tonight if he starts at center. After that, I think Mo Wagner is probably the second best play. I have him for 26.83 points. They seem to be playing a good amount of Mo Wagner starting at center, but also moving him around to the 4. Wendell Carter playing a little bit more 4, so they can put Mo Wagner and Mo Bamba at the Mo was actually just realized that together at the 5. Bojan or Bey and why? Ooh, that's a tough one. Between Bojan and Bey, I'll take Bey today. More ball dominance. He's not going to be having Jeremy Grant or Mason Plumlee out there. More rebounding potential. I think that both of their minutes are pretty stable around the 32 to 34. I think Bey gets there more for 34. So I Bey basically for more points and a better fantasy point per minute projection. Bey's like a 0.9 fantasy point per minute producer with these guys out. Bojan is still going to be like 0.85. So if you want the exact difference in projections, and also Bey today for me is one of my yeses. I don't have a lot of yeses on this slate until we get some news. If we get any, I expect us to. I have 31.81 points, so about 32 fantasy points for Saddiq Bey exactly today. Bojan I have for 30.7. So it's not a crazy difference. It's like a 1.5, not even point difference. But I'll take Bey. Right now in my player pool, I only have, so right now on Patreon, I only have 9 guys as yeses. In a massive player pool, though, of 53 players, right? And actually, it's like an average player pool. But I only have 9 guys as yeses right now. So with only 9 guys as yeses, I think we're going to be seeing, hopefully, value will open up, but on a short list of priorities for me today. And I'm excited because some of these priorities aren't really picking up all that much ownership. Nice to see you, Sal. I seen you like my $5,000 takedown the other night. Yeah, we'd love to see that. We'd love to see that, my man. Fuck yeah. What's up, Sal? Did you end up talking to Rodman? Got 2 spend-ups tonight? Yeah, I actually saw Rodman. Dennis Rodman was at one of like the afternoon. It was probably like 2 in the afternoon. We were just by a spot getting some lunch, and I wasn't getting any drinks. I was battling a massive headache, and I don't even know really if it was much hangover as much as just not sleeping at all and getting up early and running 8 miles. But I was just dehydrated, I think. And then there's just pounding music. But long story short, Dennis Rodman was just like chilling there casually, like talking to random people, doing his thing. No, I didn't say hi or anything. Like it's just weird because there's like 50 to 100 people that saw that he was there, like constantly coming in and out. And everybody's just like taking pictures in this. And I was guilty of doing it. And then I just felt so weird that I did it. I was just like, this is just a guy who played basketball. And now for some reason people look at him like he's like a unicorn, like a totally different looking breed of human. When really he's just a basketball player and a dude just trying to drink some beers and hard liquor, it seemed, by the beach. So it's just odd because there's like 40-year-old men. They're like, yo, I saw like a couple of different people like debating, like, yo, should we go up and ask for a picture? Like, it's like, God damn it. This is just like a guy that's like your age that could be your friend, but it's weird. It's a bonus birthday game that, didn't know that. Top play, Russ, question mark. Top projected overall play is definitely Russell Westbrook. He's one of my priorities today. My favorite play in the slate will be Alex Caruso if he starts. That will be seen in the ownership. After that, I'll be liking if he starts Mo Wagner a lot, but Russ is basically right there. I mean, Russ is one of my 9 yeses. He's clearly a priority. I have him projected for 4.5 points more than anybody else in the slate. I have him currently projected for 7.5 more points than anybody not named Steph Curry on the slate. So if I had to put my priorities on a single entry lineup right now, it makes a lot of sense to play the most expensive player, Russ, when you have a dirt cheap punt play in Caruso. And many people are going to do that. So if you're trying to win a 150 max lineup, you can play those both guys, right? You can play both those guys and just get different elsewhere. But that's exactly why I like playing in the 500 to 1,000 person contests or even lower than that because, yeah, sure, maybe 50% of the field will play those guys together, which even that is one high. Like, I don't expect it to be that high, those two together. I expect them to both come in maybe around 40% ownership. The combination of the two of them together, it's not going to be 50% ownership. It just probably won't. And I'm fine to have both of them in that lineup. The physical space on the court cost Drummond takes up effect. Yeah, I mean, Drummond, the Drummond effect is real. So we'll pull up the optimizer in a second to look at some of the top lineups. So the Drummond effect is real. Like, Drummond, he has an insane rebounding rate. And Anthony Davis he's a fine rebounder. He's a strong rebounder, but he's nobody that's going to go out there and hunt rebounds. Like, Andre Drummond's game is hunting rebounds. Andre Drummond is in the NBA because he hunts rebounds. I mean, he does some other stuff, right? And he's seen some improvements on defense, right? But he hunts rebounds, and that's how he gets his contracts. He posts massive double-doubles, and that's how he gets these big contracts and continues to be somebody that people want. He just hunts rebounds. He will go out of his way and fight for teammates. He's like Russell Westbrook for rebounds, right? For the pad statting. So, yeah, and when AD doesn't give a shit about that as much because he's fucking AD and he gets there in other ways and he just does his thing, and he's already proven to a superstar and level and historic Hall of Fame levels, right? Yeah, you're going to be having a big hit down when you can't be getting these 12 rebound games out of AD, and it cuts to in half of that. So it's a really good point, Michael. And that's why AD, from a fantasy perspective, probably hasn't been as great, even with LeBron off the court. Obviously, when LeBron comes back, it gets even worse. Early lineup, Westbrook, Mills, Ties. So we got all these guys you're saying right now, Duncan? All right. Top studs and favorite value. My top studs will be Russell Westbrook and Steph Curry in that order today. Favorite values are going to be Caruso, Mo Wagner, Josh Jackson. Other values that are really cheap today, none of them are yeses for me, but other values that are really cheap today, you can punt on Drew Eubanks if you want. You can punt on Patty Mills if you want. I do think that Georges Niang from Indy is going to look like a quality play, continues to get bigger minutes. Finally, all season long, they haven't been giving him these 24, 25 minutes, getting those somewhat lately. Tomas Satoransky at 3,400. Ish Smith. Some of these other guys are just like pure punts, but I do think that Niang is an interesting one. I don't expect Niang to really be all that owned, but I do think he has some upside to him. Could you break down the Detroit versus Orlando game in best value and pay up? Pay up. Yeah, I mean, specific game individually. Yeah, I can let you know where I'm at currently on those teams. So basically just Detroit. For me today, my favorite plays are going to be in this order: Josh Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Hamidou Diallo, Frank Jackson, Kellyan Hayes, and Isaiah Stewart in that order. Those are the guys that are in a player pool for me from Detroit today. And then you said the other team for you was Orlando. Just like weird teams that have been really hurt lately, and none of them have like a star player. These two teams playing today are like the exact same team to me. Mo Wagner is a yes for me. He's one of my 9 yeses so far. My interests from Orlando are just Mo Wagner, Mo Bamba. Those are like the more priority type plays. And then in a player pool is Wendell Carter, but nowhere near a priority. What are your thoughts on Cole Anthony today? I think he's fine. I prefer not touching anything. If anything, the under on Prize Picks, but really not touching anything. Cole Anthony for me, I have for 33 points. There's probably 10 other guards that look way better. What do you project Sabonis at today? I currently have Mr. Domantas Sabonis at 47.7 points. Prize Picks locks. I'm on my last 50 from my stimulus, says Digner. Oh, no. Is Joel Embiid wrestling today? I don't see any news on that unless it just came out. So Prize Picks locks today. There's no locks. I would say the closest thing to a lock is RJ Barrett, so we can pull up Prize Picks right now. I would say that the closest thing to a lock for me today is RJ Barrett. So my favorite plays on Prize Picks are going to be RJ Barrett 1, probably 2 Nikola Vucevic. So I have 5 plays already taken there. I have the over on Clarkson. That's probably my 3rd favorite. I have the over on Vooch. That's my 2nd favorite. This is Prize Picks, by the way. There's a link in the description if you want to use it. They're actually running an offer today if Embiid plays. I believe it's Embiid. It might be somebody else, but I believe it's Embiid. If you play at least $100 on Prize Picks today, which I know is a lot, right? But this is just a promo, so you know. If you play at least $100 on Prize Picks today, I got the email like an hour ago, which is pretty cool. Every point that Embiid scores, you get back. So if Embiid has like a 28-point game today, you get $28 back. And then on top of potentially your wins, and if it's your losses, it reduces by 28. So it's a pretty interesting thing to do. Obviously benefits you if you were planning on playing that much anyways. But Barrett, I have over 30. I think RJ Barrett's a really good play today. I have him for 36 fantasy points. So I like RJ Barrett a good amount. So Barrett, 36 fantasy points. He's my favorite over on Prize Picks. He's a guy who can get there from steals as well, which is nice on Prize Picks. Is a little bit of a bonus. And then I have McCollum's over. That's not as much of a priority for me. I don't have as much tied to that one. And then Russell Westbrook's over. I have him in the 60s. Also not as much of a priority for me, though. It's kind of a high over under 57, of course. So yeah, those first 3 were the ones I like the most. And then kind of getting guys to pair up with those is where those other couple come in for me. Sounds like a plan. Maybe it's a start of a streak. We will see what happens tonight. Hey, we like that. Welcome back, my guy. How was Florida? Weather was great all weekend here in Tampa. Yeah, weather was fantastic. Not a drop of rain. It was basically in the early mornings and late nights, like the times where it would be the coldest time of the day, 75, highs of 95, which is a little bit too hot, especially on the beach. But yeah, basically average like 80s. Nice. Curry or Dame today, which one is more consistent for playing time? Give me Curry. I think he's more consistent for playing time. I think he has way less competition because there's no CJ McCollum or Nurkic on his team. And that shows in my projection for him today as my second highest projected player. One of my 9 yeses right now for me. So that's where I'm at on prize picks right now. Yes. Let's pull back up this little screen right here. How y'all doing? Do you like Jacoby? I was going to say Jacoby Brissett today. Shea Brissett. He's in a player pool for me, not a top priority. Who are your top center options today? Top center options for me today right to now are going to be in this order. Mo Wagner, Mo Bamba, Kevon Looney, and then just like throw in the rest of like your Steven Adams. If you're paying up for Jokic, it's mainly just because of the points, not as much as the upside, I would say, like projection wise, with these other guys on this screen today. Yeah. Welcome back, Sal. Favorite center and value center other than Mo Wagner? Thanks. Yeah, favorite center and value center would probably be after Mo Wagner. His teammate, honestly, Mo Bamba. If you're not trying to go there, Kevon Looney continues to be a fine value. Still just barely gets out of the $3K range at $4,000 flat. Other than that, you can punt on $3K flat Drew Eubanks, but you're hoping for like 18 minutes. So that's just straight backup minutes. I probably wouldn't go there tonight. And then Steven Adams, if he plays, is fine. 4,700. The price is getting down there for a guy going to play 26 minutes. Average just under a fantasy point per minute. So that price is low enough if you're looking for other values. Curry is national TV too. Got that superhero shit or something. If you believe in him playing better with that. Yeah, there's a real thing to that, right? I think it's less in basketball, but I'm not totally sure how much less than like basketball or NFL. Because there's players who just dominate. And I mean dominate under the lights. DeAndre Hopkins in the NFL. DeAndre Hopkins and Devontae Adams come to mind. And obviously they do well in all different aspects. But look at what they do in prime time. It is easily the 8-catch, 102-yard game and maybe a touchdown, right? So there's guys who do that in the NBA. It usually comes out more in the playoffs, of course, right? They elevate it. They don't care about like a national televised game that the ratings aren't that great on the NBA and like a Monday night game. So I'm not as much on it for the NBA, but there is something to that for the NFL. Like the stars come out, and it's because I think in the NFL, they're playing under the lights. In the NBA, no matter where you are, the lights are on in the gym. Or in the NFL, they're not on every single time. You're only getting those lights on for that primetime game once, maybe a year, right? If you're really good like the Cowboys, or just you bring in the ratings, the Cowboys, the Packers, right? The Chiefs now. Bills are starting to get there for a team that never had it. You might get these 3, 4, 5 primetime games. Any interest in Dwight Howard? No. Julius with no Noel. So Nerlens Noel was ruled out, or are you saying if? So I saw Nerlens Noel was a questionable tag today. I have Nerlens Noel in right now. If Nerlens Noel is out, Julius will actually hit a player pool for me. He's in a player pool, but barely right now. Optimal lineups. Let's get it. What's going on, Will? Tonight is some of the Marvel crossover with the Golden State game. I actually saw. Yep, I saw that on a couple of the podcasts I was listening to, or heard that, I guess, instead of saw. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Darren Walker always on prime time. Darren Walker, hey. Tonight is some, yeah, there we go. Isaiah Stewart projection, yeah, not a priority for me today. I'll pull up the optimizer so we can get some lineups going right now, especially before we get some news changes. So yeah, optimizer, if you want access to it, it's linked down below. There's a plug for your Patreon. All the patrons out there, I saw a bunch of people sign up for the new month. No better time to sign up for Patreon in the beginning of the month, right? Get your budgets in order, all that type of stuff. Hopefully you got all that family budgets in order, whatever you got going on there. Check it all out. Link down below if you want the projections, ranks, ownership for some sports, Discord access, all the optimizers, whatever you want. So let's do some stuff right now. So my projection for Isaiah Stewart today, yeah, he obviously has the ceiling, but I'm not going to project him for his ceiling. I have him right now at 30.72 points. He continues to be increasing in price point, now at $6,300. So putting some randomness on, you can see what happens here, right? Like I expect to have like 100% Caruso if I don't set any limits. Okay, 76%, right? So double the field. So this is if I put a good amount of randomness on. If I put no randomness on, it's going to give me 100% Caruso and probably 100% Russell Westbrook. So right now I'm about at the field in 150 lineups. So this is my exposures, just not getting too creative, or not creative. Actually, creative would be the word. Not getting too strategic with a lot of groups yet. This is just run some randomness, put some uniques in there, put some limitations on guys from a team. 8-game slate. We put 3 guys from a team max, 3 uniques, put some randomness on, 25%. Just run it out there, see what we get. Yeah, makes sense. Caruso looks like a lock to me tonight. If you're playing in small field, single entry 3 max, you should probably have him in all those lineups. 20 max, probably play close to 100%. If I play 150 max tonight, I'd probably be at over 80% if he starts. Darren Waller. Yeah, I was going to say, who is Darren Walker? In my head, I was just like, I'm just going to kind of go along with that one like I knew what he's fucking talking about. No idea. So, yeah, here's early early usage reports from the optimizer for me right now. This, again, will not be the final stuff because I have to add some groups, but it just gives you an idea of where some things are looking if you're trying to get different, which I do think that guys like Mo Wagner will offer that to some extent. These top 3 guys are definitely where the chalk is today, though. So that's where a little bit of an issue will come in. But I do think guys like Mo Wagner will give you some relief. I do think guys like Jordan Clarkson continue to probably be just massively, massively under-owned. I don't know if other sites are under-projecting them. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if people forgot that Jordan Clarkson's really good and Mike Conley is still out and Donovan Mitchell is still out. But we're going to be getting a good amount of Jordan Clarkson right here on this YouTube channel. So this is some of the early lineups that you can see. Tomas Satoransky, a way to get different as a punt. It's giving you a 2-stud lineup, which is probably going to be decently easy to make today when Caruso's on the board looking. This is actually a fucking crazy lineup. I mean, this is giving you Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook, and Bradley Beal. You're obviously punting in a lot of spots. Caruso, a clear punt. Davis Bertans, a clear punt. Kevon Looney, not a terrible punt. Mo Wagner, not a terrible punt. Satoransky, decent punt, right? Like this guy's, I only have him projected for 19.02. Russ or Curry today, if you had to pick one, I'd take Russ. Isn't Wiggins a game time decision today? Yeah, I have him projected in. I don't know if he's game time. I just know he's questionable. An updated top 10 for you today? Yeah, I guess there's no update to be made because we didn't do a morning video. But I'll pull it up right now. I'll pull up the top 10 as of right now momentarily. The updated top 10 is not even going to have a lot of yeses. My updated top 10 right now has like no fucking yeses. It's got like 2 yeses in it. Yeah, it's just like so much shit value. So I'll do it based on my updated top 9 because I only have 9 top plays today. I don't have a 10th top play. But let's do this. We'll come back to the lineups in a second. But yeah, no better time to sign up for Patreon. Get in down below. What you waiting for? Huh? What you waiting for? So I don't have 10 plays today or 10 yeses today. Which is pretty fucking crazy. I only have 9 yeses today on an 8-game slate, but that's just the way that this motherfucking cookie crumbling. So only 9 yeses today, and this is them in order of their point per dollar upside and my interest in them. So this also includes my interest in them because of one thing or another, point per dollar upside, or in the case of Russell Westbrook and Steph Curry, pure points upside. Jordan Clarkson been so bad lately, though. Yeah, I mean, what Jordan Clarkson has done over the last 2 games doesn't really matter to me. Like the small 2-game sample of Jordan Clarkson being bad does nothing but potentially lower his price point and lower his popularity, his ownership. So Jordan Clarkson being bad for a couple games, if anything, benefits me tonight, right? Like because of the ownership dropping. You still get the shooting guard eligibility. You get the price point dropping by a couple $100. Jordan Clarkson has shot 33, 20% in the last 2 games, shot 57% in a game in between there, then 25 and 31%. So Jordan Clarkson has had a week and a half to forget. For a guy who has shot over the last week and a half or so, if you take out the 1 game, 4 out of his last 5 games, basically like 25%. This is a good NBA player, known for scoring and shooting. Jordan Clarkson is going to be somebody who goes out there and he is going to go back to shooting his 50%. He's going to go back to shooting 50%. And when he shoots 50% and scores twice as many points than he is, he's already scoring you 30 fantasy points. When he actually scores twice as many points on his 18 shot attempts, then he's going to go out there and score 40 fantasy points, which right now I don't have him projected for 40, but I have Jordan Clarkson currently for 38.72. So we can't project Jordan Clarkson for what's happened in the last 5 games. That is unreasonable. That is improper. That's just invalid, right? We project him for what happens with the bigger sample of the last year to year and a half. And that is still a very good Jordan Clarkson, right? A couple of bad shooting games should not change that. Trey or Dame today? Give me Dame if I had to pick one. Give me Trey if I had to pick one. Clarkson being the 6th man kills him worse in blowouts. Yeah, just because he doesn't get the secure first 6 to 8 minutes, yeah. Other than Jordan Clarkson, who else in the Jazz do you prefer? Joe Ingles after that would probably be a guy. I believe I have Niang. So I probably prefer, after Jordan Clarkson, Niang if you're looking for a value. And then Joe Ingles. Let me pull up the exact minutes and value on those guys. Let's pull up these minutes right now. So the minutes right now in Utah are on the screen. My interest right now would be in this order. Clarkson, Niang is not a yes anymore. He was, but now he's not. Clarkson, Niang, Ingles, and O'Neal in that order. Other than not high on the stud centers and Embiid or Jokic if you had to choose one. If I had to choose one, I would take Jokic there. Embiid dealing with some injuries, and I mean Jokic is all around better fantasy point per minute production, and it seems like they want to give him more minutes. It seems like Jokic, I mean, there's a narrative around Jokic right now, right? I mean, this is a guy who has clearly came into this season a totally different guy. A lot of people took the pandemic poorly, and maybe for good reasons. A lot of shit happened to you, and you got not as motivated, and you put on a lot of weight, things like that, whatever happens, right? And Jokic said, fuck that. I'm going to come back looking like a totally different dude. He came back looking like a totally different dude in shape. He's normally notorious, a guy who starts his first month or 2 of the season not good. This year, fantastic. Was like the only fucking stud to stay healthy this season. Giannis as well, somewhat, right? And then what do you see? You see Jokic now the MVP favorite, as he probably should be, just from the numbers he's doing. Guys can't stay healthy around him. People are yelling Steph and this type of stuff. I get it, but if Jokic stays healthy this final week and a half, he'll probably be the MVP. So yeah, there's a narrative here, and I say all that because Jokic continues to get these 34, 36-plus minute games, 38-minute games, right? He continues to get these because, I mean, he's just in shape. That's what he's doing. He doesn't have injuries that have kind of hampered him, and they have to run him back up like Embiid has had, and a pretty scary one for Embiid that looked like he might miss the season when it happened, missed only 3 to 4 weeks. But Jokic, they're still saying, let's try and lock up this MVP this final week of the season. So they have incentive to give him minutes even in blowouts. Embiid is a guy who was coming off of an injury a couple weeks back. That looked very scary, like I just said, and they just want to get to the fucking playoffs, right? Just get to the fucking playoffs with this guy just playing 30 or 32 minutes a night. And that's somewhat reflected in the price point, but not enough. Westbrook or Jokic? Westbrook. Lonzo Ball or RJ Barrett? RJ Barrett. Who benefits most if Wiggins sits today? It'll probably be guys off the bench, and most notably, I would say Jordan Poole and Juan Toscano-Anderson. Other guys will get a little bit of a bump, right? Half a point bump for Draymond Green, things like that. But I mean, mainly guys off the bench. Mike Mulder, these types of guys get a little bit more. Nico Mannion get a little bit more. So it'll be spread out. But the guys getting like 24 minutes for me today or so, like a Juan Toscano-Anderson, and those types will get a decent bump of maybe 4 or 6 minutes. And really, at the end of the day, whoever starts. So we'll see who ends up starting. You like Russ and Trae Young spend up a duo? Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah. Do we like Capella today? Not really for me. Campazzo or Rivers? If I had to pick one, I would go with Campazzo. What is your projection on Jonas Valanciunas? Yeah, I'll pull up the old minutes on him. I have no interest in anybody from Memphis. I have Jonas Valanciunas for around 36 fantasy points today at almost $8,000. That ain't it. I mean, this is a good matchup against New York. The number one overall defense is true. It's depending on the metrics you look at. It's different depending on the matchup. Like Jonas Valanciunas is an above average center, I would say, especially on offense. If Nerlens Noel is out, that clearly fucking helps, right? So it's not going to be just as copy and paste as saying that. But yeah, there's something to it. So that is going to deflate that a little bit. Had to step out, Sal. Can I see the Dollarooski dozen? Oh, can you ever? Can you ever? We don't got a dozen. We don't even got 10. These are my only yeses on the slate in order of interest. So there's 9 of them right now. Obviously, news will change that. News will indeed change that. Yeah, and if you don't know, if you're just hopping in right now, I see about 300 people live right now. Yeah. We paid. We got a whole new setup in here. Hey, shout out Corey right now. I don't know if Corey's going to comment, but he just texted me. Came across my laptop on the top. Thank you, Corey. Shout out the consultant. If anybody out there watching right now, there's going to be, maybe like 1,500 people that watch this. Probably more so the people on Twitter because those are like in the community of creators from this industry. Needs any consultant help to get this all set up. This would have taken me months, maybe even a whole year and a half to make it look like this. Reach out to me and I can give you a guy who maybe doesn't want to fucking help you. He'll just say, "No, I'm good. But maybe he'll help you." Reach out. Knicks or Grizzlies today, Sal? Just from like a straight up betting standpoint in that game, yeah, I'm just going to take the Knicks. I'll be honest with you, though, I don't got any action down on that. My action's all on like the player props. So you probably don't want to listen to me on that one. Player props and fantasy. Straight lines today. I mean, it's an age-old story for me. I don't take any NBA lines. Haven't taken one all season long. I don't think there's much value in those lines at all. Obviously, a lot of people don't care about value. Like you're betting on the game for entertainment for the most part, right? Maybe you're specifically not, but the average person I'm talking to is. So I get that. I would take the Knicks. But that is me coming to you as casual of a better as possible in the NBA streets when it comes to straight out lines. PGA, outrights, and props, and NFL, yeah. And XFL when that comes back, yeah. Definitely have stronger takes on those. The setup looks great, says Fitz. Thank you. I appreciate that. Somebody says, nice camera work. Yeah. No, zero. All I did on the camera work here was follow instructions and click the buy button on Amazon. Everything else, shout out to the consultant. How about SuperDraft plays, Sal? What's going on, Derek? Yeah, SuperDraft plays today. Did SuperDraft post? So I updated a lot of my stuff last night before traveling. I don't know if SuperDraft posted a bigger contest today. They didn't have one. I think the top play in SuperDraft is Julius Randle. Only gets better if there's no Nerlens Noel. They gave him a 1.2x multiplier for a guy who's like a 1x player. So not sure what's going on there. Outside of like the low multiplier guys, I think RJ Barrett, who I already said looks fantastic, one of my 9 like yes type priority plays today on DraftKings, and my favorite prize pick today. So if anybody watching is curious on price picks or trying to get in the streets, or you just play often, RJ Barrett is probably the guy I like the most today. He's attached to most of the stuff that I think is appealing. Over 30. I have him at 36. If you want to track it down below. But he has a 1.55x multiplier today. He's just playing massive minutes right now. Now against Memphis, which, I mean, John Morant ain't interested in playing defense. Tyus Jones might be somewhat interested in playing defense, but he's not even in the rotation these days out there, right? Not much out there trying to play defense. So that looks good. Other high multiplier type guys will look good. McCollum at 1.3x. Wiggins if he plays at 1.4x. And then Kent Bazemore at 1.85x. He's probably not going to be the one that works out for you the far majority of the time. But at that high of a multiplier, especially if there's no Wiggins and now you start to lock in 32 minutes of Baze, that looks good for a guy who probably picks up not that much ownership. Everybody give a thumbs up. Appreciate that. Thank you. DeRozan or CJ? Give me CJ. Love the energy. Appreciate that. Jamari, thank you. Not much, bud. What was the best thing you ate in Florida? Oh, the best thing I ate in Florida was, I think, the best meal I've ever had in my life. It's called El Camino. And I do not believe it's a chain, but maybe it's like a Florida chain. Maybe it's a chain and I'm just saying this, but I mean, it's not like your KFC type chains or Paneras or anything like that. But El Camino, sit down place. We got Mexican street corn and guac, the best guac. I mean, guac's hard to tell the difference from, so it was just fresh. I'll say that, but it was good. And then I got a brisket, basically burrito bowl, but nothing like your Chipotle's or anything like that. Just like the most insane food. Everything fresh. The way that they just like melt cheese over the entire top of it. Refried beans in it. Guac. Oh my God. It's amazing. And we were going to get these brisket nachos to start, and the waiter literally told us not to. He was like, let me ask you something. You're just going to have these and then like leave? And we're like, no, like we want a meal after that. He's like, don't get these brisket nachos. They're massive. You're going to eat half of them. You're going to be mad that you ate half of them. You're not going to be able to eat your main meal, and then you're going to be uncomfortable the rest of the day. And he was right, because we would have been so full because the main meal was banging, so good. LeVert or Ingram? If I had to pick one, Ingram. DeRozan question mark? I'd rather have DeJounte Murray from his own team. DeRozan for me is not much of a play today. From Northern Ireland. Hey, what's going on? We got a global right now. Round of applause to Northern Ireland in the house. He says, new betting basketball. New to the sports betting in general. Utah game. You think it's over under 220? Thanks. Let me actually look. I mean, I actually do project totals, so this is actually something I could go on, but also I'm taking into account. I'm just going to answer the question for you. I'm not going to give you the full-on breakdown. You don't really care what my full-on breakdown is right now. So over under 220.5 is the line that you currently have on your end. I will be taking, let me pull up San Antonio overall projected team total for me, so I can do some quick maths in my head. I'll be taking the under on that with not much confidence. What's up, Sal? You got a top 10 for me? Killer. Yeah, I don't got a top 10, but I got 9 guys. I got 9 guys that I currently have as yeses today. There's 50 something guys in a player pool for me as of now. We're not really getting much news so far, but as of now, let's see. So we got, favorite prize picks over RJ Barrett, 30. That's where I'm at right now. Thoughts on Rui at 3.9K? Barely in a player pool, but not much of a priority. Yeah, I went under, bro. Done quite a big bet. Just silly money, but good return. Waiting on a tip coming through as soon as I do. Fun. Just found your channel. Hey, you just found my channel. Is just finding my channel mean like today? I'm always curious on that stuff. Or like within the last week. I'm curious on how you found it. One, just searching, I assume, like NBA betting and stuff. So it comes up at some point, probably. And yeah, welcome. Thanks, my man. No problem. Any interest in Draymond Green? Slight interest, yes. He's in a player pool for me today. One of 53 interests, which basically the entire player pool is on Patreon. Not a priority, though. Draymond right now for me, let's see where he ranks. I'll give you a specific answer. So Draymond for me right now, 36.4 points. That will slightly go up if there's no Wiggins. It won't be anything dramatic. Like Wiggins doesn't take rebounds. Wiggins doesn't really take assists. Draymond's like an insane assist player this year. Draymond ranks as my 23rd overall play, which is pretty solid, right? 10K on DK too much for Zion? I do indeed think so, yeah. I mean, Zion's been playing great, but how often does he score 60 plus? How consistently does that happen to like win you a GPP at that price point? I don't think often, right? Any interest in Taj Gibson? No. Sal, what's the most exposure you have to a single player just in general, says Dan. Yeah, so we ran this earlier, and we haven't had any other news. This is not my final exposures. This is a starter kit for me, if you will. But currently the exposures on the Big Energy Optimizer, my exposures currently 76 on Caruso. So I'm about I'll probably be around double the field on Caruso. If he comes in 42%, I'd expect to have 80+%, but I mean, I'll have 100% in single entry 3 max. So this is the current exposures on guys. This will change with news. This will change when I start to add some player groups, right? When I start to add some player groups for specific teams. So the player groups, which if you don't know, you just put in some guys in here. So for example, today, like guys on a team, like all these guys, so Mo Bamba and a Mo Wagner today. Maybe you don't want to play them together, right? And that would make some sense because I do think, although they'll play next to each other for a few minutes, Mo Wagner can play a lot of power forward. I do think that having them on an 8-game slate together in a single entry league is probably not the most optimal way to go about it. So at most, one of these guys, and then bam, there you go. Now you have a rule set, and it won't give you two of those guys. So you can control your lineups more, which I think you have to have in an optimizer. Otherwise, you are losing to people who have it. Just found it in the last 5 minutes. I just typed in basketball betting tips, man. Hey, there we go. Appreciate it. We still got, hey, there's still something to that Google search. Yeah, we're very focused on like the player prop side and like the fantasy betting side, but yeah, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm as transparent, hopefully, as it gets. I'm not a big NBA straight totals or lines better, right? Point spread, money lines, things like that. I just find the value in the props and in DFS side. But if you're still here for NFL, oh, we got you. We'll have betting videos for that. NFL, PGA as well. Do some things there. THT in a blowout if you think it blows out, but I personally am not projecting that. Where can I fade to be different tonight going for a single bullet? I'm not sure it matters as much as where you fade as much as where you play. Like Jordan Clarkson will be 10% owned tonight. That's ridiculous. I'm going to have triple the field as it seems right now. Hit me with the player props, Sam. Well, I don't know who Sam is, but yeah, Sal. Yeah, the over 30 on RJ Barrett's my favorite option. We went through them a little bit earlier, but I can keep going on some of them in momentarily. But like places to fade, Jokic, if you want to value or if you want to pay up center, you can go for it. But Jokic, I think I'm probably not going to have as much as with the field is. I'm definitely not. I'm going to have more Curry. I'm going to have way more Westbrook than Jokic today. I'm fine fading Isaiah Stewart. I'm not really sold on this. Yeah, he had a couple of games where he scored 50+ in the last couple of weeks, right? And he's also had games where he scored 25 and 30. So I'm not projecting Isaiah Stewart for 1.4 fantasy points per minute. I'm projecting him for the 1.15. So at that point, that's 6,300. He's appropriately priced, even overpriced arguably, which seems like a hot take based on his ownership. So out of all these guys that are going to project out for being like top 10 owned guys today, I think Isaiah Stewart's probably the one that I'm the lowest on. As much as that said, though, there's way more guys that you can get at 15 to 10% or lower ownership than there is the guys that you have to fade at the top. I'm not really looking to fade Caruso or Josh Jackson or Westbrook. And as much as I just said, I'm not too high on a Nikola Jokic today. I mean, he's going to come in at like 20%, so you don't have to worry about fully fading him. I don't really feel like fading Mo Wagner, right? Sadiq Bey, Kent Bazemore. Why is Gibson picking up ownership? I'm not sure he is picking up ownership, so I don't know. I don't think he is. But we had a question on the prize picks on the props. So yeah, I'll go through the props quickly one more time for anybody watching. If you want to check out prize picks, it's linked down below. If you want to just type my name in when you sign up, you'll get your first money match up to $100. And tonight specifically, if you play at least $100, which this might not apply to you, but if it does, you play $100. Every point that Embiid scores, you will get $1 back. So if Embiid goes out, if Embiid has a decent game and scores 22, 25 points today, you'll get that money back on top of potentially what else you can win. Other player props, so I have Westbrook over 30, not as much of a, so I have 5 player props. Westbrook over 30 today, and they're basically all right here. So let's just do this. This is easier to do. So the 5 player props I have right now is Vucevic over 42, Clarkson over 30, Clarkson over 34, Barrett over 30, McCollum over 37, and Westbrook over 57. So you can pair as many of these up as you want. I would put my rankings priorities on Barrett 1, Vooch 2, 3 Clarkson, 4 McCollum, and 5 Westbrook. So that's where I'm at right now in terms of the streets of prize picks. Monster Sabonis game loading, question mark? Oof. I mean, he's coming off of what, the 75 burger? Just absolutely nutty. But no, I don't have him I have him for like 47 points, which is fine, but not like elite or anything like that. What do you think about Shea Brissett in a player pool? Fine option. I have him at 33 minutes. If you think that's low, even better for you then. This is my silly bet. You don't have to read it as long as you don't have to read it. As long as the Orlando Magic game is under 211. There we go. Oh, so you got a silly bet as in a big old parlay. I like that, the silly bet. It makes it seem as more light. Glad to hear you had a good weekend, Sal. What's your favorite center on SuperDraft? Yeah, definitely. So I believe power forward, Randall's still power forward eligible. So if that's the case, I mean, it would be him. If not, then Vooch at center. I haven't had much of an idea of a sport in general, but eager to learn. Feel like I've missed so much in the sport as it's not popular at all here. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Yeah, Ireland probably not as big. At least the NBA specifically over there. What is like your top sports? I'm always like, I always go like right towards soccer, like football, just because that's big basically everywhere outside of America. But what are like your top sports? Fermenting beers, fermenting and chugging beers. Beer pong. You guys probably hate beer pong. And Embiid price picks prop, not on it. Yeah, so I think somebody touched on this. Might even been you, Giles, but somebody mentioned it in the Discord. Not on the Embiid price picks prop. Is that like 50? I got him for like 49. Not really there. Brissett still in play at that price point? Yes. Thanks, I'll get them dollar receipts tonight. Same to you, same to you. Caruso on SuperDraft or McCollum over there? On SuperDraft tonight between Caruso and McCollum, I'll be taking McCollum pretty easily. Like, Caruso looks great on DraftKings, don't get it twisted, but SuperDraft, it's tough when he's not projected highly like a McCollum is, and McCollum has a good multiplier still of 1.3x. Can you pull up your Pacers minutes and projections for today? Yeah, so I can pull up the Pacers minutes. I can touch on so nothing on the screen is like point projections. These are just the minutes. Like, all the numbers you're seeing is usage rate, minutes per game, minutes projection, DVP rating, which is kind of like a one step of that, and then I take it into the back end. Team pace, so point per minute projection, or season totals, things like that. But I have the projections on the other screen. So if you have individual questions on the Pacers, you can let me know. I'm not really high in the Pacers today with them kind of getting healthier. Obviously, no Miles Turner. But getting healthier, it pushes down an Embiid Sumner. It pushes down a Brissett. It pushes down a LeVert and a Brogdon with Sabonis back, right? Sabonis priced up to almost 10K after a massive game. Pushes down a lot of people. So my interest on this team would probably be Brissett and Sabonis in that order, and that's it. But neither of those guys today, I do not believe grade out as like top 30 plays for me, but let me double check that. Brissett for me today is ranking out as my 43rd overall play, and Sabonis right now for me is my 60th overall play. So Brissett is my number one play from the Pacers today, and he's outside my top 40. How about LeVert with the injury news? With the injury news, LeVert, all right, so the injury news just come out, I assume then. Sumner remains probable. Lamb is ruled out. Goga's ruled out. Already had Goga ruled out. And there goes Malcolm Brogdon. So 4 minutes ago, Brogdon gets ruled out, so maybe that's why the question came in the first place. So these minutes are not updated, obviously, for Brogdon. So everything I just said about Sumner now looks good. It looks fine. And LeVert now looks good. Now looks fine. So I'll update for these 34 minutes that have to go around. You're also going to see some minutes. So Goga I already had projected out, so there's nothing changes on Goga. 14 minutes now of Jeremy Lamb. So there's 48 minutes that I have to now project out for this rotation. So Jeremy Lamb's 14 minutes are gone. Malcolm Brogdon's 34 minutes are gone. So and let me just see if there's anything else out there in terms of news for today. So no other news. The only news that's coming right now, Garland tomorrow. And so basically just Lamb and Brogdon I will have to update. I'll do that momentarily. So yeah, I mean, basically what you're just going to see is like a Caris LeVert increase in fantasy point per minute overall. I'll probably give him another minute or two, and Caris LeVert will start to look like a guy who is not a priority, but joins a player pool for me now. Not a priority, joins a player pool. Other than that, Sabonis now goes to above a 1.3 fantasy point per minute producer for me, and we can probably do this on Add More Funds right now. So I'll pull up Add More Funds, and we can start to go through the Pacers. We probably won't get a big minute sample on this at all, but we can start to do this when you see no Turner. We can just go no Turner, no Brogdon right now. And then we're going to have to go with no Oladipo just because he was here earlier this year. And we can see what the entire season so far rates are. So let's look at this live. So the most minutes goes to McCollum. He'll obviously see a bump. Holiday see a bump, although he's kind of out of the rotation now. Goga's still in there for a lot of minutes. Let's take out Goga too, since he's a good producer. Yeah. If anybody's wondering on projections for Patreon and in the optimizer, this will be updated in no more than 15 minutes. I can even update it on the stream right now for the minutes and talk through in a second where the interests go, but I won't update it until after because it takes a little bit more time and just want to make sure that the stream gets the biggest quality out of it. But I think we can confidently say that you're going to be seeing a lot of upside now out of basically all these other guys off the bench or who maybe start now, like a McCollum, even like a Doug McDermott who picks up himself probably 6 more minutes here. You can see Doug McDermott plays the third most minutes. So these are going to be the guys who benefit. Not as much Aaron Holiday because Sumner took his role, but McCollum, benefit, wheels up, going to be in play now. McDermott, maybe the best option now since he's going to be getting more secure minutes as over a fantasy point per minute producer. You can see right here, McDermott averages over fantasy point per minute with all these guys off the court. So does TJ McConnell, but he kind of always does that. And then Summer gets decent minutes and decent production at 0.81 fantasy points per minute right here. So let's update these minutes in which you can see. And you can, honestly, you can see that not much changes for LeVert. It's a smaller sample because he just got there. He does average over 1.2 fantasy points per minute, but that's on shooting 62%, which I don't know about you, but I don't think Caris LeVert is going to actively continue to shoot 62% and 41% from three. But with that said, let's update all these minutes and the production levels. Brogdon is out. Do you think Jokic will go under 55? It's a no bet for me, my man. Mamba or Hernan Gomez? Mamba right now. Does Hernan Gomez even play tonight? I think he does, right? Yeah, Mamba. Unless Steven Adams is out, Hernan Gomez. I'm going to be in Miami in 3 weeks. Any suggestions? I didn't stay in Miami. I stayed in Fort Lauderdale. From my 2 experiences, being in Miami in the past and Fort Lauderdale, although I was in Fort Lauderdale longer, because Fort Lauderdale's just a lot nicer and was more fun. But the Wharf, it's called, in Fort Lauderdale, is the best place that I've ever gone out to. Just for drinks and if you like to dance, anything like that. And then to eat, El Camino in Fort Lauderdale. All these are in like one spot called Las Olas Boulevard, but probably the best place I've ever eaten. Just so good. So good. So let's do these minutes right now for Indy. So it's going to stay, for me, it's going to stay with the same minutes on Sabonis. He's just going to increase now. So Sabonis now becomes a yes for me. Like he's just going to be seeing, I'm going to project out Sabonis, I believe, for over 50 fantasy points now. So 50.1 is the new projection on Sabonis for me. We can talk through these minutes. I'll update them, and then we'll take any questions. LeVert is going to look good. He's going to look better. The problem is he's already priced for it. Like Karis LeVert is $8,400. If I give LeVert today 1.2 fantasy points per minute, he's still not in a player pool for me. Even if I increase these minutes, right? Even if I give him an extra minute, he's still not really making much of a player pool for me. We'll put him in there for now, and then we can adjust if we need to, but it's not going to be looking that great. We'll give Shea Brissett an extra minute. We'll give Shea Brissett now a fantasy minute production based on what this is saying for me. Shea Brissett is still going to be fine. McConnell sees a nice bump, 22 to 28 minutes. McConnell now for me is going to be a yes. So McConnell's now a yes. And then Summer sees a nice bump. And then Summer for me now is in a player pool. Not a yes, but in a player pool. Not much changes for Justin Holiday. He's kind of been the backup. Doug McDermott will see a nice change. McDermott sees a lot more minutes. McDermott's now a yes at 4K. So the 4K options for you now are McDermott and like Kevon Looney, guys like that. I actually like McDermott a good amount now. The problem is rebounding rate next to Sabonis, but still should be fine. And then you can just give the rest of these minutes to like whoever, like maybe, I don't know, maybe you think Aaron Holiday sees a lot more run. We'll give him 18 minutes just to fill some minutes. Kasai Stanley might enter the rotation. I'm going to say he doesn't. So, yeah, you probably see like a Keelan Martin play 4 minutes tonight. But that's basically where the minutes are going to go. So the minutes are now on the screen for Indy. You can see them right there. And my updated interest, again, this will be transitioned over to Patreon momentarily within the next 10 minutes. And then will be uploaded into the optimizer with the new projections. So Jeremy Lamb, 14 minutes are out. 34 minutes of Malcolm Brogdon are out. We just got news that Steven Adams has been ruled out as of 27 seconds ago. So now we're starting to get some news, and this is good. This is what we needed today. So we're starting to get some news. We can then next update Steven Adams. Steven Adams for me today, coming in today, I had him as a decent play. I had him for 26 minutes. Now Steven Adams, obviously you're not playing him, and you're going to be getting the nice Willie Hernan Gomez, who averages over a fantasy point per minute or so. He's going to be coming in here now and playing his potentially 28 plus minutes at a fantasy point per minute. Keep in mind, though, he is priced up to 5,200. But if he starts to project out for like 28 to 30 plus points, it's still a very solid play. Still a very, very solid play. So with Steven Adams now out, Hernan Gomez, not a strong value at 5,200. Like if you're talking about cheap value, because he's not cheap, but looks good. Rock on, brother. Thank you. No problem. No problem. Josh Jackson and Bayer, Barrett and Bazemore. Give me Barrett and Bazemore. Adams makes Gomez a yes right now. I'll have to update the projections to have the exact answer for that. But if Gomez starts today, Hernan Gomez, and I can confidently give him 26 to 28 minutes, 26 minutes if I give him for, he'll be a maybe. 28 to 30 minutes if I can project him for, Hernan Gomez will be a yes for me today if he starts and can get 28 to 30 minutes, which I'm going to update those minutes and kind of see where they would flush out momentarily after that. But just, I mean, if you just look at his recent games, since we actually have seen Hernan Gomez get to play lately with no Adams, you're seeing Hernan Gomez play 27, 29. He played 24 in a game that don't really know what went on there, and then plays 31. So, I mean, in 3 of those 4 games, he's getting 27 plus. If I can give him 28 minutes confidently tonight, and this is a guy who will go out there and average 1 plus fantasy point per minute, yeah, he'll probably become a yes. He'll probably project out for 30 to 32 points for me at 5,200. That's damn near 6x value, and that would put him pretty quickly as, let's see, if I give him 28 to 30 minutes today, he'll be pretty quickly in like a top 5 overall, and he'll be a yes for me, assuming he starts. Alec Burks, question mark. Alec Burks missed yesterday. I'm currently projecting him out unless there's been any other recent news, which I'm not seeing, that he is expected to play. The best center play tonight. The best center play is about to become either Willie Hernan Gomez if he starts. It does seem like that with no Steven Adams. And then Mo Wagner after that. Campazzo or Sumner? I'll take Sumner. Top $3,000 plays. Alex Caruso, not even close, is the number 1 option there for you. After that, punting options on like Drew Eubanks, Patty Mills. But the top plays for me would be Caruso, Georges Niang, then Tomas Satoransky, then Ish Smith, and then you're kind of just punting with like Bertans and those types of guys. Do you still like Clarkson? Yep. Continue to like him a lot. Kelly and Hayes from Detroit in a player pool. Nowhere near strong interest, though. Lonzo or CJ today? Give me CJ. Adams makes Hernan Gomez a yes, most likely, but I'll have to update it to be sure on that one. Fort Lauderdale that's my home. Yeah, we love that. In what order would you rank your DFS knowledge by sport? I think it's tough. I mean, like whichever ones that I'm doing, I would say I have strong knowledge on. Like I don't make content if I don't have too equipped of knowledge. That's why you're not seeing me making NHL content. You're not seeing me making whatever type of content. If I'm making content for it, I say I have an adequate process of research and coming to the table with facts. So yeah, I don't know how to really rank them. Like NBA is a different beast because it's every day. So I know more so like every single guy in the league, which is fucking kind of crazy. But once it's the full swing of the NFL season, I know all the 3 running backs on a team, all the 3 active running backs on a team, the 5 to 6 active receivers, the 2. Like I know whichever season that we're in swing. So right now, since we're in swing of the NBA and PGA, those 2, but the NFL, like I can probably name, maybe not exactly in the order that all the wide receivers and running backs that got drafted. I can't believe they got Kylan Hill, the Packers, and like I mean they don't fucking need him right now, but like the 6th to last pick is just crazy out of A&M. But yeah, I would say pretty equal. If Powell's out, do you like CJ or Dame's prize picks line more? Yeah, I already like CJ's over, so it only helps. Dame, meh. I got Caruso. Thoughts on another value point guard? Patty Mills is just a punt, so I'm not really strong there. Ish Smith is a punt, so I'm not really strong interest there. If you're trying to find another value point guard, it's just kind of all punts. Like I think there's a lot more value at center, and then in the 5K range, there's just unlimited value right now. Like Hernan Gomez, Mo Bamba, Josh Jackson. There's just so much value. Sadiq Bey, Kent Bazemore. There's just so much value in that 5K range. How much do you like Hernan Gomez now? Yeah, I haven't updated the projections, but just kind of talking through it. If I can comfortably give him 28 minutes tonight, he's going to look like a yes. He's going to look like a top 10 play, arguably a top 5 play. I'm going to update his minutes. Since the stream's ending in about 5 minutes, I'm going to update them then. What's your favorite basketball team? I don't have one. I don't have a favorite basketball team. So like growing up, Yankees, Bruins, Packers. Now I really only have like fandom for the Packers. Just detaching myself from fandom as much. I haven't watched a baseball game this year. I haven't watched a hockey game this year, except for when I was in Maine and they were just like on the TV. But I watched most of the Packer games, if not all. And then Penn State, just from college sports there. But yeah, don't have a favorite basketball team, which I actually like because it makes me enjoy it more. Sal, do you have any 2 favorite prize picks? Yeah, RJ Barrett 1, and then after that, there's not a strong second. Like Vooch over and Clarkson over are my next 2 favorites. We talked about them a little bit earlier. Prize picks twice, so if anybody wants to go back and check it out, you can. Blessing, Sal. Yeah. Do you like Capella and top spend up? I don't like Capella. Top spend up is Russell Westbrook for me. Lakers or Nuggets tonight? If I had to pick one, I'd go Nuggets. Barrett or Sabonis on point per dollar value right now? I'll go point per dollar plus upside Sabonis. That's my favorite team. Somebody says the Packers. Yeah, same here. Shout out to the Jordan Love error. So right now, if I had to go Willie Hernan Gomez, where I would rank him, I think I'm going to end up giving. I'll probably end up giving Hernan Gomez. I think we'll have to see though. I think we'll have to see who starts. If Hernan Gomez starts, I think I'll give him 27 or 28. Because Jackson Hayes is also somebody that they continue to give minutes to. Like Jackson Hayes in that last game, albeit a game that saw a lot of time, 140, 136, played 25 minutes. So I'll have to see. But I think I can comfortably give Hernan Gomez like 26 to 28. Not positive if he will be a yes yet for me. If he starts, I think he will be. Hey, Sal, did you make it to Miami? No, we only went to Fort Lauderdale. We were sitting in Fort Lauderdale on Saturday afternoon, like, why do we want to go to Miami tonight? Like, we have to take a 45 to an hour Uber, pay $50 for the Uber, same exact thing back. And at that time, it might be midnight, 2 a.m. Like, we're going to wander around there where we don't really have any spots to go to when we know spots in Fort Lauderdale, so no. And I'm happy with it because we had a really good time. Yeah, if you guys are still watching before we finish up the stream today, any questions, continue to get them in. I do want to, one last time. We didn't really fully plug them earlier, which we should, but Klutz Clothing, I guess we did. Klutz Clothing is something that I really am enjoying. Wore it a lot over in Miami. So they sponsored us, and I don't usually have sponsors that are like outside the betting streets, right? But man, oh man. So I think they have female stuff as well, but so I have this black hoodie right here and then some other long sleeves and stuff like that. But they have, so these t-shirts, I've got a black one and I'm trying to get a couple different colors. I basically wore it for everything. I wore it if I just wanted to go out for brunch, just walking on the street. I wore it to the beach. Like, I had a couple. And then you can just like wear it out for drinks. It kind of fits everything. It's their own interesting material. So I don't like reading off of your ad reads, so I don't. But basically it's like their own material, their own unique difference. I don't know how to describe it outside of like form fitting without being like too tight or like you're feeling like it's just suffocating you and showing last one of your rolls that you might not even have, but it makes it seem like you have them. If you want to check it out, it's linked down below. Cuts Clothing is sponsoring the program. It is cutsclothing.com/Sal Vetri. You can see it on the screen right now. But yeah, they reached out and I was just like, let's do it. Let's see it. I mean, I always got these issues with clothing being shrinking in the wash and too much shit going on. So you can check them out if you want to. Linked down below. Pima Cotton, is that what they call this thing? What's my guy doing right here? What's this guy doing right here? What's going on there? Not safe for work. We're about to get banned on YouTube. Giving away a signed rookie jersey, says David Carroll. Cut's got a promotion with my boy Fryermuth. Really? Actually? Damn. Pat Fryermuth. Shout out the Penn State's own. I got that light right there. You can't see because I'm blurring it out too much, so I look nicer. You know what I'm saying here? Yeah, Pat Fryermuth. Shout out. Staying in Pittsburgh. They did the same thing with Jesse James. They kept their Pennsylvania own in Pennsylvania. Only 2.5 hours away or so. 2 hours, really, from Penn State. But that's cool. They did a promotion with Fryermuth. That's awesome. Yeah, check it out. It's cool. Steph Curry going to be off the chart. All right. McConnell or D-Rose? McConnell. 2 Packers QB are A-Rod and J-Lo. I don't know what that means. There we go. A-Rod and J-Lo, yeah, they broke up, so they're about to break up too on the Packers. Sabonis and Barrett and Lonzo Ball are going off. There we go. Everybody likes to get in. Pat, that is, somebody says. Go up 15 minutes away from me. Nice. Projections for Ingles tonight? Thank you. Yes, we will finish up the stream with these final questions. The projections on Ingles for me are 34.4 points. Did you go to Elbow Room? I did, yes. Elbow Room was the place that we went to on Saturday afternoon. Yeah, right by the beach, right in the corner. Elbow Room. Yeah, it was fun. It was kind of just like a beach bar, and then there was like somewhat of a dance floor. Me and my cousin enjoyed dancing, especially to rap music, so we did that. We were like 2 of like 20 people dancing at one point. Then it filled up a little bit later on in the afternoon, but we were kind of leaving. Thoughts on Dogecoin? I have 0%. I really don't have much interest. I mean, all Dogecoin should tell you is the power of the internet these days. So like all the books that I have behind me, which have fantastic financial fundamentals, A Random Walk Down Wall Street, The Intelligent Investor, The Millionaire Next Door, all these ones that tell you not to chase the hype and continue the process of, investing 20% into a target fund or your index fund or your ETFs because nobody can consistently beat the stock market, which I believe in. This is a whole different age that we're in. So the power of the internet is strong. So if you want to jump on a hype, if you want to jump on a pump and dump, I'm no financial advisor. Just know that you could lose every single penny, right? It's clearly the riskiest, most speculative thing out there. Yeah, people are just pumping and dumping. So I don't have any interest in it. But I do own Bitcoin. You ever been to Boxcar, Sal? No, I know where it is in Raleigh and Durham. I've never been. I mean, I've only lived here a year and a half, and there was a pandemic for a year plus of that, and Boxcar got shut down because they only served alcohol. So, and when it reopened Boxcar, you couldn't play the arcade games still. So I have tried to go, but unfortunately, the circumstances. Steven Adams is out. Correct, he is out. Yes. What do you think? Who do you think should be in the playoffs? The playoffs this year? I mean, out of all the teams, I mean, the 8 best teams, the team that wins the play-in, and then the other 7 teams. All right, everybody. I think I'm going to bounce. Where's the top 10 list? The top 10 list today is, I mean, I'll show it to you, but I mean, there's no place for it specifically. Like if I didn't make a morning video. I was traveling. These are my top 9 yeses. I don't got 10 for you because I don't have 10 yeses today. Good luck tonight, everybody. Yeah, good luck, everybody. I appreciate you all coming in here right now. It was fun to be back. Any priorities on SuperDraft for you? Yes. All the priorities are on Patreon right now. We got to wrap this one up. All the priorities are on Patreon. I got about 7 yeses over there. Randall, Vooch, Trey Young, RJ Barrett. Those are some yeses. McCollum, Damian Lillard, Wiggins if he plays. Somebody says, I live in Raleigh. Nice. I'll be moving in about 5 days. Hayes or Frank Jackson today? If I had to pick one, give me Frank Jackson. Thoughts on Joe Ingles? He's okay. Yep. All righty. Peace out, everybody. Appreciate you all a ton. See you in the next one. Thank you for tuning in for the first ever stream and piece of content with a new camera. Looking pretty decent, I would say. Like, subscribe, do those things. Sign up on Patreon down below because if you're not, I don't know what you're doing. Come on. Beginning of the month, best time for your budget, best time for your bankroll. Start the month off. Nice, fresh slate. Link down below. Optimize your projections. Winning, that seems fun. All those types of things. Check out Cuts Clothing. The lovely Cuts Clothing. I wear this hoodie like everywhere I go. Best t-shirts in the game right now, Cuts Clothing. Use the code in the link, or actually just a link in the description below. Or if you want to do it right now, I could just put it in the chat for you. cutsclothing.com/Sal Vetri. That is cutsclothing.com / let's do it right now, /Sal Vetri. Bang, bang, bang. There you go. Cutsclothing.com /Sal Vetri. I might have spelled my own name wrong. Might not be capital letters, but whatever you're going to do. There you go. Linked down below. Peace out, gang. Best of luck. Looking pretty fly for a white guy. You betcha. Mo Wagner or Gafford? Mo Wagner. Do you like Sabonis on Prize Picks? What did his Prize Picks change to? I got to get the fuck off this screen. I'm staying here too long right now. Sabonis over 46. Yeah, I would take that. I might actually take that. Good looks. Peace out. See you in the next one.